Hi there. My name is Todd Bugler, and I am one of the team leaders for the Practice Discipleship project, along with Catherine Anderson. And I want to welcome you to this webinar. We're presenting this brief webinar for adult leaders who will be serving as small group leaders during the Practice Discipleship Day at the ELCA Youth Gathering this summer to help prepare you and get you ready for this great event. There's been a team of people working to create the curriculum and the program for the day. That team has been led by Rachel Alley, who does the synodical youth ministry work for the Southeastern Synod of the ELCA. Has done a great job leading this team, and we're really excited that she's spending some time today to help lead us through this process. So thank you, Rachel, for being here. Why don't you go ahead and take it away.
Oh, thanks, Todd. Thanks for asking me to serve on this team. Discipleship is really an important thing in our synod, and we encourage all of our youth to be disciples, and we try and make it as easy as possible for them to be equipped. And hopefully this Practice Discipleship Day will be something that maybe your synod can use or use this model for activities and events in your synod, as well as, of course, in your congregation. So why did we decide to do small groups? First of all, we know that kids, if they just listen to someone talking, they're only going to retain 10%. But if they are active and experience something, they will remember 80%. So that was the reason we chose small groups. Plus, it's another way just for our kids to get to know each other better in our synod. Sometimes we isolate ourselves and are isolated because of distance with our congregations. And our hope is that kids and adults will get to know each other better through their interactions at the hotel, but also especially through their interactions on the Practice Discipleship Day. To give you just some background on our goals that were given to us, actually the learning outcomes, Heidi, the director of the gathering, and her team gave us some goals for this Practice Discipleship Day. First was claiming and valuing baptismal identity, the ability to talk about grace that Jesus offers, allowing our youth to wrestle with questions of faith, and demonstrate openings to the movement of the Spirit in their life. The Practice Discipleship curriculum team decided that the 7 faith practices would be a great way to guide the kids through the day and help. We decided that use the 7 practices as a guide to reach the discipleship goals for the day. So that's where we are. Let's take a look at the curriculum. And better yet, let's take a look at the day, because we will start as you enter your ballroom. There'll be some music playing probably. There'll be a table set aside for you. For the small group leaders, pick up a bag. It's going to have all your supplies in it. Everything that you need will be there. Then you'll, in that bag, there'll be a bandana. You can either wear it or wave it. Eventually, when we get to small group, when we divide up and begin to, for small groups, but there'll be a bandana just for you in there. Let's talk about the atmosphere of the ballroom too as you enter. We're going to begin the day with music and with worship. It's going to be loud. Actually, the whole day is probably going to be loud because you'll have many kids, many bodies, but that's a good thing. So just embrace the loudness and the noisiness of the day rather than worrying about it. It's going to be fun. You probably won't have chairs in your ballroom either, so you'll be sitting on the floor. So get ready for that. There's all sorts of different positions when you get into small groups that you can sit leaning in with each other, as well as maybe even laying on the floor like a wagon wheel spokes with all the heads in the center. So there's all sorts of things. Be thinking about that. There are plenty of transitional changes of ups and downs and games during the day. So, but just know you will be prepared. You're going to be sitting on a carpeted floor. Alrighty, let's take a look at the day. You'll enter the ballroom, like I said, grab a bag, and then the coach will introduce the day and what discipleship means. Then the first practice will begin, and that's worship. During the worship, there will be a time for communion. The kids will go through the communion lines, and at the third station, they're going to receive a bracelet, a colored bracelet with the faith practices on it. It's really, and that's really important because later on that's how we're going to be dividing the kids up into their small groups. But so just know that. Also in the worship, there's going to be a time when the kids are going to need magic markers. In your small group bag, there will be a pack of markers. So be ready to pass those out to the kids closest to you during worship, but then gather those back because you're going to need them later on during when you're doing the curriculum in the small groups. Okay, so after worship is over with, then we'll be going right into a movie called Dust. It's 15 minutes. After Dust is over with, after the movie Dust is over with, the coach or the MC is going to ask some questions that are going to get the kids moving around, and she or he will do 4 or 5 rounds depending upon how things are going and stuff. Like, for example, everyone wearing shorts or skirts, get into groups of 3 and introduce yourself. And so the last round, though, is going to be that find a group with 10 other people that have the same color band as you. Well, guess what? That's going to be our small groups. So you'll find one of those groups of 10. You'll ask them to have a seat. And to begin with, I would just talk with them, first of all, about that you're the guide for the conversation, that it's important that everyone be able to share in the small group, that confidentiality is really important, that this is a safe place, and don't be expected to have to talk all the time. Give time for the kids to be able to talk. The second faith practice that we're going to be doing is study. And our goals here for study is we give the kids 2 different ways to, one is intentionally looking at the Bible and reading it and then discovering what God is sharing it with us through questions that are already given to you in the curriculum. And you'll see the words ask and say. Just follow those. And feel free as you go along and as you prepare in advance for the gathering and for this day, write in there, if the language doesn't sound like something you would say, make it sound like you. It's okay to make the changes that are needed. The important part here, of course, is that the kids read the scripture and talk about it as a community and what they hear God saying to them. The second method that we use is the devotional method, and that will be just you reading it and then asking the kids questions that pertain to what they heard. So that's the second faith practice that we'll go through. Let's look at our third one now. Our third practice is invite. And our goals here is to understand how good God is in our lives and put it in a simple way, but then also to be able to invite others to come along in this journey with Christ with us. So there's some questions in your curriculum. especially pertaining to the Samaritan woman. And the cool thing about the Samaritan woman story is, and many of the kids are going to be familiar with that, but at the end, the story talks about how the woman went out and told others. So not only did she experience Jesus, but she also went and told everyone that she met. And that's our goal for this faith practice, is for the kids to understand not only what God's done for them in their lives, but also to share that with others, to invite others. And then there's some Bible verses and some other stories listed and questions to help you with this faith practice invite. You'll have in your bag, you'll have, as I said before, the markers for you to use during that practice, as well as some cardboard pieces. Have the kids hang on to those cardboard pieces. They can use them, they can carry them with them in the evening at worship, and they can hold them up, and we're going to, the gathering dome team knows that the pieces of cardboard will be out there for the rest of the gathering participants to see those invitations of grace. Okay. Hopefully now you've done 2 faith practices, and so there's an intentional break. Your synod might choose to go ahead and do this with a song or with a game, just a time for the kids to get up and move around. Also, this might be a good time for kids to do an intentional bathroom break. So, and be ready for that. Kids might decide, might ask to leave. If you've got another adult with you, have them maybe walk with them to the bathroom or whatever, just so that the kids, to help them guide them back to where they need to be, back in the ballroom. Okay, our next faith practice is serve. Oh, excuse me, our next faith practice is prayer. I apologize. Prayer is a way a disciple enjoys being in an intimate relationship with God. In our curriculum, we've given them some fun ideas of ways to pray as a group. Sometimes the kids have a hard time saying out loud prayers, and so we do different examples here, palms up and palms down, and then one-word prayers, hopefully to give the kids ease into prayer out loud. At the end, during this faith practice, we talk about Jesus and how, of course, how he prays, and then finally we pray for one another. And that is usually most powerful, when the kids listen to each other and pray for each other. So if anything, spend more time there than anywhere else. It's important just for them to pray together and to pray for each other. The faith practice serve is our next one. This one's going to be tons of fun. You're going to look at some Bible verses that have to do with serve, and being servants. You're going to talk about who's been a servant in your life, and then you're going to play charades. When we practice this with youth groups, the kids really love doing this. So there'll be 2 sheets of paper, and of course you've got your markers. Divide the kids into 2 different teams, and then have them come up, give them a few minutes to come up with as many serving ideas as possible, and then play charades. In your curriculum, I've actually given you all the rules, but your kids probably are going to already know how to play charades. But just in case there's rules there, you can go through with them if you want to. But anyway, it's going to be, I promise it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of interaction there. The next faith practice is give. our hope here is that the kids understand how much God gives to us and blesses us with so much, and everything that we have belongs to God. And because He gives us so much, we should give back to others. This is sometimes like a really hard concept for kids, the whole stewardship and giving thing. Actually, it's even hard for us adults too. So we start off with gift and talking about receiving gifts, but then we move into giving and what that means, and why as Christians we're supposed to be giving to others. And of course, Jesus gave us the example of giving His life for us, for giving healing to others, for giving words of encouragement to others. And our hope is that kids will discover giving is not quite as hard as sometimes we think it might be. Our final practice is encourage. Jesus walked with His disciples. He had that small group of 12, just like you've got your small group of 10 kids there. And our hope here with encourage is that the kids understand how important it is to walk with each other, but also to walk with the people that they meet in their life journey. We'll talk about Paul and Barnabas, and how Barnabas was an encourager and walked with Paul and supported him. We'll ask some questions about people who've been encouragers to you in your life, or the kids who's been encouragers in their lives. And then finally, at the end, we ask that the kids mark or write a word of encouragement near the cross that they're going to mark on themselves during worship. So hopefully they'll have 10 or more words of encouragement surrounded around the cross that is on their hand. And that finishes up the 7 faith practices. We hope that you find this curriculum easy to use. Please don't think that you've got to get through every single piece of it or every single question. Just the most important thing is relationships, and for the kids to have a good experience, and of course for you to have a good experience too. Make sure that you pray with the kids, to start. Our Practice Discipleship team is already praying for you, and we have been for months. And even before you said yes to being a small group leader, God already knew you were going to be doing this and is equipping you for this day. Also available on our webinars is another one, Tiger McLuhan, who will give you more details on how to lead a small group. So that's available to you as well. And if you've got any questions at all, please feel free to email the Practice Discipleship team or myself at rally@elca-ses.org, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can. Todd?
Thanks.
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything at all about the discipleship tour, Rachel?
Oh, sure. As soon as your coach dismisses you for the day, you'll gather back in congregations, and the kids and you in your congregation will go out, and we are practicing the 7 faith practices again, but in different areas of the city. So at this point, we know you're going to be starving, and the kids are too. So I make the first step, going to get lunch, and go through one of the faith practices there, and you'll see you're going to be given on your way out a tour, a trifold that's going to give you, and each kid will receive that too. So that you can go out and remember the faith practices, but do them in different parts of the city. Excellent.
So it'll be a way of kind of living into or practicing what they've actually just spent time talking about.
Yep. And these faith practices have been used through the Getting Ready materials too. So hopefully the kids are already familiar with the language of this.
That's great. That's good. I just want to think for a quick second about the schedule for the day. So we're going to ask groups to arrive at their hotel ballroom about 8:30 in the morning. What hotel you're assigned to, that'll all be listed. The group leaders will actually receive that in advance. It'll come with their final confirmation letter, what your ballroom is. But it'll also be listed in the guidebook that the adult leaders will receive, because it'll list which synods are in which hotels and which ballrooms. So be there at 8:30. And then this practice discipleship day is going to actually be done by 12:30, so the groups can go grab lunch and do the discipleship tour. And so we've got 8:30 to 12:30, about a 4-hour block, but really the first 45 minutes to maybe an hour of that probably is going to be taken up by worship. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so then really we're talking about 3 hours work together to work through the other 6 faith practices, which is going to mean it's going to be a pretty fast-paced set of conversations, a lot of material to kind of cover and go through, but it sounds like it's going to be set up in such a way that it'll be fast-paced and interesting, and kind of keep a lot of changes to keep people's interest going. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And the coach will actually have slides, and we'll be introducing each faith practice for you. So there'll be some time for standing up and moving around in between the faith practices.
Excellent. And it sounds to me...
I'm sorry. As a small group leader, you don't have to worry about the time, because the coach will start and stop the faith practices.
Great, great. It sounds like those coaches can be good resources for us as well. I mean, certainly people can contact you if they have questions, but the coaches, I know, this is a curriculum that's been put out for all the synods. Many of the synods are really kind of adapting and editing and contextualizing this to make it fit for the community that they come from, because it'll be the synods doing this together. So there might be some variations as well. So another place, if adult group leaders have questions, they might want to check with their synod coach. Is that correct?
Oh, that would be even better, yes.
I thought you might think that. And synod coaches, that information about who they are and such is available on the Gathering website. So if you go to www.elca.org/gathering, from the Gathering page, I think you can click on a practice discipleship link or something, and it'll take you to some spot that you'll be able to see your coach's name and link to their email as well if you want to follow up for more information with them. Anything else, Rachel, you can think of that we need to try to touch base on in this conversation?
I can't think of anything. I'm just so excited for the day and can't wait to meet small group leaders and coaches. It's going to be an awesome day.
Well, it's going to be fantastic. And just the idea of this many young people all working on faith practices together at the same time, I mean, the impact I think it's going to have on the church long term is just going to be tremendous. And just the idea that there'll be 22 or 23 different ballrooms every day with all this stuff happening simultaneously, it's just a really exciting thing. And your group has done a great job, just a tremendous job putting all this together and logistics and such. It's been great to be able to sit and watch that team work. So thanks for all of your work on it as well, and to the members of the folks that or the team that you work with as well. We're very grateful for that. So that's it. Thanks for checking this out. If you have other questions, again, contact your synod coach, or you can contact Rachel as well. Also, you can post questions on the Gatherings Facebook page. There's usually pretty quick answers that come from that as well. Please feel free to share this webinar with other folks. There's also another set. Rachel mentioned the one on leading a small group by Tiger McLuhan. There's a total of 8 other webinars on the Practice Discipleship Project. Everything from what to do when the event doesn't go according to your plans, when things go wrong, to leading a small group, to Lutheran theology, how we read Scripture, all that kind of stuff that all ties into this. It will help you to be as effective as possible in leading your group to the gathering this summer. That's all we've got for right now, so thanks for watching this, and God bless you and your group as you prepare for this summer's youth gathering. Thanks, and have a great day.